Which of the Big 8, Big 12 teams did you hate the most, and in what year or years did you hate them the most? Basically, what I'm asking you is, like, did Missouri in 2009, 2010, did that hate rise above, like, Colorado in, like, 92?
So first, let's identify the peaks for all of them, okay?
Ooh, this is fun.
And then we can compare them to the extent that they exist. I mean, you're excluding Oklahoma, but I would say my hate for Oklahoma peaked in 1987, 88.
Yep.
87, 88, in that range. I'm probably going to have a little bit of a range for those.
Okay.
My hate for Colorado peaked in 90, 91.
Wow, okay. Even before 92.
Well, they beat them in 92. Like, after you beat them, it feels like some of the hate
goes away.
Sort of gets consummated, essentially.
TW says Colorado 90 to 94-ish for me.
Yeah, I say 90, 91. Kansas State, I mean, 100% 1998.
1998, yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest one. And then Missouri, I mean, man, like 03 to 09, like, yeah. I don't know.
They
like,
really did suck up a lot of the hate
peaked.
Oxygen.
I don't know when that even peaked. Like, probably it just built. I think it continually built from 03 to 08 or 09.
Well, like the interesting thing about
built during that time.
Yeah, about like that stretch was like they would trade wins and losses. Like, whereas Nebraska would go to Columbia and they'd lose, and then they'd come to Lincoln and they'd win. They'd go to Columbia, they'd lose, they'd come back to Lincoln and they won. And it kind of did that for a few years until 08 when Missouri came to Lincoln and beat the brakes off of Nebraska.
I think that was probably that 07, 08 period,
man.
Then consummated in 09 with the victory.
With the Thursday night
game. That's
that's
a great genre of a game. The consummation, the honeymoon night of hate, right? Like the honey. So for Missouri, it is 100%
that Thursday night game.
The Thursday night game. For Colorado is 100% that 1992 Halloween game.
Yep.
For Oklahoma, it is probably that one that made John say the F-bomb on your show.
The 88?
The 88 game, the 7-3 win.
What's the Kansas State one?
Did it ever? Because, okay, what was 99? So what happened in? I don't even remember the 99 game. They
destroyed them in 1990. They like ran them off the field. They blocked a punt.
Why was that not more? Why is that not nearly as memorable as those other games I just listed?
You know why? It's because at the time we still viewed Kansas State as less than. Like, okay, congrats on the 1998 victory, but we don't really care about you, Kansas State. And then after that, Kansas State and Nebraska kind of dropped off, and like they traded good and bad seasons.
Like,
so Kansas State and Nebraska were never like on the same level again after that.
Was there ever a honeymoon night hate consummation win against Kansas State? Does that even exist?
I don't think so.
Because then they lost in 2000. Again, and I hated them after that, too.
Yeah,
right?
But then they beat them in 01, and Kansas State wasn't very good in 2001.
And I don't even remember that game.
The thing I remember from that game is DeJuan Gross has a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown. God, and Brad Nessler's voice is still booming in 2001, and he has a great touchdown call.
Great point by Adam. Maybe it was 2010.
Thursday night game, that was
like the hate wasn't there like it was.
Because Nebraska started beating them all the time. I think they beat them.
What was the series?
They would have lost Nebraska to Kansas State. I'm trying to remember the years. They would have lost to them in 03. They would have lost to them in 04. Jack, I don't think after 04. I don't remember the 05 game.
So they lost. 04 was Nebraska's last loss to them. Wow.
So I was going to say they just started beating them all the time. Isn't that wild?
And like so
everyone
many
else they traded wins and losses with, but Kansas State they just kind of owned again for the remaining Big 12 North years.
None of these Kansas State games are very memorable.
Except for the 2010 Thursday night game.
That's the most memorable by far of any of them, the last one. And the 98 loss. But from that 98 game to that 2010 game, like I kind of remember the Harrison Beck game. I was at that one. But man, I'd be a little hard pressed. I mean, I remember the Bo Pelini almost fighting with Bill Snyder one.
That is memorable. In 2003, they're yelling at each other from across the sideline.
That's for things kind of extraneous to the game. I don't remember any game in that series between that 98 and 10 as well as I do a bunch of Colorado games, a bunch of Missouri games, a bunch of Oklahoma games. Isn't that weird? I don't know if everybody else is like that, but
no, I'm the exact same way because they're just I think that both teams were just trading good and bad years. Kansas State would have higher highs because they won the conference. They went to the conference championship game, but Nebraska never won the league. And they just, from the stretch of, you'd have to help me out, Jack, but probably starting in 93, 94, Kansas State and Nebraska played in ranked-on-ranked games for like 6 or 7 years. And so they were always massive, and it was always top 10. And then after 2000, they just kind of traded who was good and bad in the moment.
They were ranked on rank every year from 94 to 2000, and then they never were again.